It looked like it was a tough day at the office to watch on. How was it from the coach's box, and what's your reaction?
Oh, look, they were better for us, better than us for longer. We really, played in spits and starts, and then really didn't play with any urgency or intensity. I didn't think for a consistent period until the last quarter. So you can't have 20 inside 50s in 3 quarters of footy and expect to win a game.
How frustrating was it that you felt like your form had been building over the last couple of weeks, but it was probably a step backwards today?
Yeah, but there was still some bright lights. I thought some of our young guys were really good. I thought Bletchenden, Kelly, Donaldson, Drager in his 100th. Jimmy Miller fought pretty hard in the ruck when we lost Brock. I thought our backs were pretty sound, but we just had too many good players. Have no impact on the game. So if you have all your good players, you're more experienced, cattle, all really didn't deliver together, it makes it hard.
You're right, it's probably the first time in 5 years just about where all in the same game, Hayden, Dylan, Mason, Soubs, all weren't able to have much of an impact.
Yeah, and it made it hard, if you look at the stats, which proves, I guess, that stats don't mean a lot. Our stats looked okay, apart from the inside 50 count, which we couldn't get it in there. Until the last quarter, I thought we had a really good patch the last 10 minutes, I think, before half-time. And then the last quarter we were pretty good. But apart from that, we didn't really play with a lot of urgency.
How much did losing Brock hurt, especially when Scott Jones is just such a big body that Jimmy and Zach and even Abbott and Dylan Main, they all had to go at him, but he's just such a big body to try to overcome.
Oh yeah, look, losing Brock certainly hurt us, but he's a big body, but you can get an opportunity to get him around the ground if you can go. But yeah, we just couldn't get our hands on the ball and didn't make great decisions when we did. So we spent most of the game sort of turnover between the arcs, both teams, to be honest. They probably let us off the hook. There's no doubt about that in the third quarter. I think they kicked 5 or 6 points. So, we were lucky to be in touch at 3-quarter time, and then, to our players' credit, I thought they threw everything at them in the last quarter, but left too much for too late.
Brock's in a sling, so that obviously isn't a great sign. Do you know much about his injury at this point?
Not really. He's got some pain around his pec, so I have to get scanned and see what it comes from there. But disappointing for him. But on the flip side, Hamish Free was really good today, so that's one positive.
Yeah. A word on Jacob Dragovich. He played really well today. He's pretty much, when you took over as coach, you threw him into the league team, and he's never looked back. He's been a terrific warrior for you over 100 games.
Yeah, he was good today. I thought he was really good, consistent through the midfield, worked really hard, pressured, played with great urgency. So it was a really good step for him. He's been a bit up and down. He's had a bit going on for him early in the year, but I think he's last couple of weeks he's really starting to get back to he's best when he's inside for us.
I don't know if it's an excuse or if it's a reason, but you looked a bit tired today. Does the bye come at a good time to try to freshen up some bodies?
Hopefully. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. Our reserves boys look really fresh and play well, so I think sometimes you look tired because you're chasing. I think we spent a fair bit of the game chasing. The last quarter we probably looked almost at our best in terms of ability to run and compete and hit, and maybe it was just more of a, we just didn't have a collective. So, as we said, we had too many boys down, and it's hard to win when you don't have weight of numbers on your side.
Is anyone on the verge of coming back? Off the top of my head, Blaine Wilson's probably the only one out that might hopefully come back after the bye.
Yeah, I mean, there's some other really good players in our reserves today, some young blokes. So, they'll put their hand up. Blaine should be pretty close to being after the bye. Dent, Florenka, Collard are coming, but they won't be next week.
Florenka's an amazing story. Is there still a chance he could make it back in the second half of the season?
Oh, look, he's ticked off every box to this point, so he's a really good player and really important for us, so we won't take any risk. But if he's fit and available, then yeah, you could certainly play the last month, 6 weeks of the season.
How do you approach this week off? Do you use the chance to freshen up? Do you do some different things as a group? Do you do some team bonding? Do you do some match practice? What do you do over the next 2 weeks?
Nah, we're not going to change because of a result, so we'll stick to what we normally do. Review tomorrow, main session Wednesday, and then we'll give the boys a weekend where they'll just have to do a session in their own time. It's worked for us over the last few years, and we've got good trust in them, so it'd be a good chance to get away and have a weekend away from footy.
Thank you.
No worries, all good.